we're back with our Autoline exclusives. I'm Sean McElroy. Joining me today is TJ Campbell from Tire Rack. And TJ, could you give us a quick little sample of some of the services that Tire Rack offers?
Sure, definitely. Of course, there is the sales aspect of our business, online sales, and also if you're in our South Bend, Indiana area, you can come directly to our location and purchase and have your tires installed here. But in addition to the sales, we also test, we evaluate tires, so we can determine what is the best product for you based on how, where, and what you drive, not just what we happen to have in inventory in your size.
Yeah, and I didn't just kind of pick you guys out of thin air or anything. I know it's a huge business that you guys operate, but I was trying to think back, and I've used Tire Rack before, and I think it's probably going close to on 20 years now that I've used the service. So, obviously, I find it very beneficial and something that I think other people would have use for as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was a customer long before I ever worked here. I grew up in the area, so this facility has been a fixture of the area and kind of the region for a long time. We started in 1979, so we've been around for multiple generations of consumers.
Yeah, and I was telling you the reason I wanted to invite you on today was just recently spoke with someone from Bridgestone, getting kind of the basics of what makes a winter tire perform better in the snow or in the winter time than over an all season. So now I think it's great to bring you guys in and give us, have our viewers have a spot where they can go to, maybe even find these tires to purchase.
Yes, certainly. That is a big part of who we are as the Tire Rack. We verify manufacturers' claims. Every tire manufacturer claims that their new tire is the best and greatest at whatever the case may be. So we actually put that to the test. So we allow consumers to make an informed decision as a result of our testing. So you can go to TireRack.com. You can look up tire research and advice. You can see our testing. You can also see consumer generated surveys and overall scores for tires. So you can kind of take we'll call it the expert tester's opinion, and you can combine that with just kind of the general consensus, the crowdsourced opinion as well, and you can use that to make an informed decision.
Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic and a great tool for customers to use. So what sort of tests are you putting these tires through? And are you testing them on multiple types of vehicles, that sort of thing?
Yes, definitely. During the summer months, we test on the road for ride comfort, noise quality, handling. Ride quality, noise comfort, and handling. We also test them on our track in dry and wet conditions to see how they perform at the limit, and also things like maximum lateral grip and braking distances. And then for winter tires and all season tires, also all terrain tires as well, we test them on the ice at our local skating rink. We test acceleration and braking figures on the ice. And then we send all of our test tires over to Sweden, where we test them in the snow. Again, we test acceleration and braking, and then we also test them on an objective and subjective evaluation on a handling course. So in addition to determining how tires are going to perform during the nice sunny days or rainy days, we also figure out how they perform in inclement weather, which for customers that switch to winter tires during the winter months, it's very important to know which winter product is going to be the best for you, but also those that use just one set of tires year round, as we know there are a lot of customers that just are a lot of drivers that just use a single tire for the entire year. That I would say makes it, kind of extra important if you're relying on this one not specialized product to get you through all of the conditions that you may face in the year. You need to know how that tire is going to perform in all of those conditions so you can evaluate, what is highest on your priority list, because all tires, particularly all season tires, are compromised in some way as they try to, be all things to all people. They give up certain attributes. That's an unavoidable fact of tire design. So you may have one tire that's an all season product that is, a really great handler in the dry, but if that's not important to you, maybe you want something that is, has better wet traction or has better light snow traction. And we figure out the complete picture of a tire's performance envelope, everything that it will have to offer for a consumer, so they can then make the informed decision.
Yeah, that's a great point because not everybody can afford or wants to take the hassle of getting an extra set of winter tires or whatever, and to be able to go through and see which ones are performing well, even in those types of conditions, is fantastic for the customers.
Yep, absolutely. Tires for most people are quite the investment. There's some money and time both, because whatever you buy, you're likely to live with for 2, 3, 5, 6 years on your vehicle. So it's important that you get it right the first time, and that's what we help with.
Yeah, and one of the things I even talked with Daniel Kelly about from Bridgestone was how stark the difference can be when you jump from an all season, even a good performing all season tire, into a winter tire, that it's just completely drastic.
It really is. I try to verbally explain it to people, and it's just words fall short. Just you need to experience it. It is unbelievable the difference a good set of winter tires will make in snow on ice. I mean, we just finished our ice testing, or our first week of our ice testing. And in the same day, we'll test two different test programs. So the first test program we tested were all season tires. And then we had a group of winter tires, and just the straight line acceleration and braking up to, we accelerate up to about 14 miles an hour is about all the faster that we get. And just the ease with which the vehicle accelerates, the ease with which it brakes, the ABS integration, the ABS works so much better with a winter tire because you're actually giving the system some traction to work with, as opposed to it just kind of flailing. And a lot of times on the all season tires, once it gets down to 5 miles an hour or less, the ABS just kind of gives up, and that's it. The pedal goes to the floor, and you just kind of slide for that last little bit of your stopping distance. So it's, the driver, the vehicle, just everything feels better when you have the traction of a winter tire.
Yeah, it just gives you the confidence to go, and you're pulling away from the light quicker than everyone else. It's just like you kind of go like, yeah, well, I like this.
Yep. Yeah. Safety, tension, and driving times. Those are kind of the three, kind of big improvements of a winter tire. Of course, safety is the biggest, the number one thing. It's so much safer to have additional traffic. But then those little added bonuses are, it's much less stressful. Like you said, you can actually pull away from a stop sign or stoplight, instead of being that person at the front of the line that's just sitting there spinning their wheels while everybody behind you gets madder and madder at you. And so it reduces the tension. And then of course it's just the time that it takes to get from A to B. Everybody's time is valuable, and of course I'm not advocating that you drive beyond, at speeds beyond what the conditions permit, but just if you're not slipping and sliding and struggling, it's just, you just naturally get to where you're going in a more reasonable time frame.
Yeah, for sure. And one of the other great parts about Tire Rack too is that you can shop your own specific vehicle. You get a whole bunch of different tires that pop up on the screen, and you've got a lot to choose from. And going into your reviews and everything, there's a lot of great information in there. You guys are doing your specific reviews on a couple of different vehicles, but then you get the customer reviews that come in. And I don't know if everybody does, but I think most people leave in the comment what type of vehicle that they have. So you can even go in there and maybe say, hey, this vehicle is a little bit closer to mine, or it's the same as mine, and this is how this person experienced this tire. Because even in the comments when we did the one with Bridgestone, and I mentioned how great I think Blizzaks are, you get a number of people that go, these are better, those are better. And I think that's where the customer experience is very, very helpful for everybody else that's shopping.
Yep, you're right. That's that crowdsourced, opinion that I was mentioning earlier. And you can sort by vehicle type or driving style, that you can choose which criteria are important to you, and you can sort. And so, like you said, you can figure out, how did drivers that drive the exact same vehicle that I do, what did they experience? How was their, experience with these tires? We also have what's called our tire decision guide, which, as you mentioned, if you just search, strictly by vehicle, a lot of times, if you have a popular tire size, there are a lot of options. And honestly, sometimes it can be kind of overwhelming. So our tire decision guide allows you to input your vehicle, your driving style, answer a few questions as far as, what is high priority for you, whether that is, again, dry traction, wet traction, light snow, whatever the case may be. And it will deliver, personalized recommendations based on our consumer surveys, our background knowledge, and our testing that we perform.
Yeah, no, it goes into a great amount of detail in that decider for you. It's got to be a real good tool for people. And even you guys have a ton of information on the tires in general. You can click on and find out regular information. And two little pieces that I always find super helpful for me at least are you can look up what the tread depth is. So if you
Mhm.
get stuck between, I often will get stuck between one, two, maybe three tires that I go, these are all pretty good. So then I go into the more detail and I'll look at tread depth. Tread depth is sometimes different between them. And
Mhm.
even weight of the tires, I'll sometimes look at weight too, because that can, depending on the type of vehicle you got a performance car, you know, weight of the tires could have an impact.
Certainly. And it's kind of, as much detail as you want. How deep down the rabbit hole do you want to go? If you really want to tire nerd out and look at all the, compare all the nitty gritty statistics, it's there. You absolutely can. Or if you just say, you know what, I'm not a tire person, but I want to make a good decision. I want to, make the right choice for me, for my family, whatever the case may be. We have that too. Or if you just want to say, sort from least expensive to most expensive, here it is, done. You have that option as well. Though, of course, we would strongly encourage that you research and put more thought into getting the right tire for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But in TJ, you also mentioned a little bit before about there's a little bit of a burden with owning winter tires. You have to store the set somewhere most of the time, and then you have to install and swap out. But I think you guys even offer a service that can help out with that. I think you guys help up with mobile installation as well for customers.
Yes, that's right, and I wouldn't call it a burden. I mean, I am a summer or all season tire in the summer months and a winter tire during the winter months person. So I don't look at it as a burden just because you do have the best possible traction during both seasons. But yes, mobile installation, tire rack mobile installation is an option. When you make a purchase through Tire Rack, you can select that. Unfortunately, it's not available nationwide. We're working on building that footprint. But if you are in an area that we service, then yes, they will bring, we, Tire Rack Mobile Installation, will bring your tires that you ordered to you, whether that's at your house, at your place of business. If you spend 3 hours a day at the gym, they can do your installation at the gym parking lot. Wherever it is, as long as they can fit the like sprinter sized van, as long as they can fit that there, they can perform your installation for you wherever it is. So it eliminates that trip to the tire shop where you sit and read old magazines and watch reruns on in the little waiting room kind of thing. It helps get that installation done on your schedule.
Well, yeah, no, that's a great service for customers. And another little tip that I would offer is I used to work at a repair shop myself, and we would take in customer tires for a small fee and just store them at the shop there. And then they would come back during the winter season and have them installed again. So you can usually negotiate something like that with a local shop. Maybe one that you use might not do it, but you can usually find one that will give you that service.
Yep, that is a service that's provided by some tire shops, and I hear it's very popular in Canada, and of course there is some here as well.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So, Yeah, hopefully we've given our viewers here a little more confidence to go out and buy some tires the way they can, knock maybe one or two off their list and get down to that final one that they really like. And, you know, when it comes to winter tires in general, I don't think anyone would ever be disappointed if they slapped a set on their vehicle.
You're right about that. The worst winter tire outperforms the best all season tire in snow, on ice, all of winter weather's conditions.
Great fact to end on. TJ Campbell, thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, Sean. It was a pleasure. Thanks for having me.